Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
And here we are with Drew Schlosberg, Spotlight on the Community. I'm Dave Mason, and for Drew Schlosberg today, we have special guests to talk about some important things that are affecting people here in San Diego and around the area. Ollie Benn is the Director of Philanthropy and Social Impact, and Heather Lezon,
yes,
did I get that? Executive Director of Youth Assistance Coalition with the Jewish Community Foundation in San Diego. Thank you for joining us with a Spotlight on the Community. Ollie, let me start with you. Can you kind of give us what is the mission of the Jewish Community Foundation of San Diego?
Well, thank you so much for having us here.
Absolutely.
So as one of the largest community foundations in San Diego, we sit at the intersection of individuals and families who want to do good with their money, with their philanthropy, and the organizations like Heather's organization that are doing amazing work in the community. So our job is to leverage that capital and those relationships for positive change in the community. We're an organization founded on Jewish values, righteous giving, healing the world, but we work with the entire community. And in fact, the vast majority of our giving, of the grants that we facilitate into the community go into the secular community. Over the course of our history, we've facilitated over $2 billion of grants. So that's a lot of impact in the community.
Yes, that's huge. That's very huge. Heather, your organization is the Youth Assistance Coalition?
Yes, it is.
And what can you tell us about that?
So our mission is to positively impact the lives of youth experiencing homelessness. So the ages are from 12 to 24. And we're working with kids who are on the streets or in shelters with their families or runaways, anything that brings them to the streets of San Diego. We are a 98% volunteer-based organization. We have only 2 paid staff and about 47 volunteers.
Oh, wow. So what is your association with the Jewish Community Foundation of San Diego?
It's actually quite amazing. Ollie, they started a program called Give For, and where they picked out 12 nonprofits, and they spotlighted those nonprofits for a year, and all of the donations equally was distributed between all of the nonprofits. And we were fairly new when they gave us a call and asked us to be part of the team, and it's been amazing. It's been absolutely incredible. They have given us so much spotlight, and we've had individual meeting with donors, and it's just really helped our organization grow. And, one of the best things about the Give For program is that it's unrestricted funds. When you have a nonprofit, so many things are restricted, and it really helped us with our beginning. We just moved into a big, huge building, and so it helped just cover all costs. So we're actively involved, and we love them. They're amazing.
This is something that every time I do these shows, things hit me in the face. And when you stop and you mention young people experiencing homelessness. We don't think about this. This is not what we see in the news. We see the older people, but younger people, in whatever way they experience home. How do they get to that point, Heather? There's
all kinds of different reasons. It could be mental health. It could be drug problems. There's a lot of aged out foster youth that come into our program. There are a lot of kids who have grown up in the shelters, so they're second and third generation, on the streets or poverty level. And so our belief is that if we really start working with them now and give them the opportunity to learn something different and be something different, hopefully they will not be on our streets 10 years from now. And the children they have will not be on the streets, because it's still shocking to me how many of my kids all know each other because they grew up in shelters together. And then here they are at, 16, 17, 19, and they're on the streets. And so it's trying to give them a positive role model and a positive adult. Our relationship is really, everything we do is teaching these kids that there is someone that cares. And when the time is right, that we're here for them and that they know that. Because a lot of our kids have never had a positive adult or a consistent adult. And the fact that our organization is 98% volunteer holds a lot of weight for them, because they're like, why are you here? Why do you stay? We're kind of rude. We're like, yeah, you are sometimes. However, we care. Like, we're here only because we care. No one's paying us. We're here because we care about you. And you'll watch their eyes change. They're amazing. But yeah, we have a lot of kids and a lot of kids who have kids.
Ollie, what have you learned from this experience? And there's got to be some eye-opening events, happenings when you get involved with an organization like this. What have you learned?
Yeah, well, Dave, the reason that we put together this initiative, the Give for Homelessness initiative, was because there are amazing organizations like Heather's out there that no one would ever find or run into or learn about, but for having some community expertise to sort of help facilitate those relationships. So the idea of the Give for Homelessness campaign, which we started about 1.5 years ago, was a way for anybody to get involved with a cause. So this is cause-based philanthropy. The idea is, I see people who are struggling on the streets. I see homelessness. I don't know where to begin. I mean, you Dave, and Drew, you guys are connected to everybody in the community. Let's say I'm not connected, and I say, I see this problem. I see this issue of homelessness. How do I solve it? Like, where are you going to begin? Like, maybe you're going to, give to Habitat because you've heard of Habitat.
Right.
Or you're going to do a Google search and type in homelessness in San Diego, and you're going to be overwhelmed by what you see. So you're either going to give to the largest nonprofit, the first one that comes up.
Right.
Or you're more likely going to be like, this is too big and too complicated. I don't understand this issue. So we started Give For as the easiest entry point. We worked with experts in homelessness philanthropy, Lucky Duck Foundation, Funders Together to End Homelessness. And we put together this fund of 12 nonprofits, each working on different aspects of homelessness, prevention, systems change, intervention. And the idea is you give to the fund, and this is open to everybody in San Diego. You give to the fund, and 100% of the money gets distributed to those 12 nonprofits. And then we tell the stories of those nonprofits over the course of the year. So that over the course of the year, you are learning more about the 12 nonprofits, but you're also learning about 12 different aspects of homelessness. So that as much as it's about the money, and we've raised some really nice money through this that's gone directly to the nonprofits, it's really about raising awareness and understanding of this issue. I
love the passion, and I love the sincerity that I get from people in the community here in San Diego. I mean, this is a great place to live. We all know that. But there are certain things in life that could put a dent in the ability of people in San Diego to have a life, and to have people like you support that is really important. We're talking with Ollie Benn, who is Director of Philanthropy and Social Impact with the Jewish Community Foundation San Diego, and Heather Lezon, Executive Director of Youth Assistance Coalition, one of the Jewish Community Foundation's Give For Homelessness grantees, which means that you have gotten grants from the Jewish Community Foundation of San Diego. And wow. These are the things that we learn every day, make San Diego such a very special place, really. So, Ollie, how did you get involved with the Jewish Community Foundation?
That's a great question. I'm on my third career now. I spent my most of my adult life in San Francisco. So I was a lawyer there. That was career number one. And then because I lived in San Francisco, I did my stint in tech, because you have to. Of
course, you have to.
By law, yeah.
Yeah.
And, none of those things really felt super meaningful to me. And while I was, still working as a lawyer and in tech, I was on the board of a couple of different nonprofits, and ended up in a leadership development program where they placed me on the boards of certain nonprofits. And one of them was a Jewish organization called Hillel, which works with college students on college campuses. We were going through a leadership transition at Hillel, And they asked me to step in as interim executive director for 6 months. And 5 years later, I was still there.
Wow.
So I was, working on the front lines, and then, running a nonprofit, being executive director, as Heather knows, is more than a full-time job. It's incredibly intense. So when my wife's from San Diego, and so when we were looking to start our family, we were looking to come down here. I knew I wanted to be on the philanthropy side of the table. So it's an incredible organization that, excuse me,
Sure,
does really good work, and just has big impact for all of San Diego. And so when the opportunity came, we jumped at it, and I've been here for 4 years now.
I think it's important to note that when people get involved with nonprofit organizations or with any really community-based organization, there has to be something in here that strikes you, and I can hear that in your voice, Heather.
Me.
Let's hear about you and your association with the Youth Assistance Coalition. How did you get involved in it?
Sure. This is an incredible story, by the way.
Thank you. Well, there's a lot of different reasons why. When I was younger, I had some problems and some issues that I worked through, but I've always had a very strong family. And I remember during those times wondering how people get out of situations without a strong family base. And so that was really important to me. And, and then, we took in a little boy who we just adored, and we saw the struggles, with trauma and mental health and just life in general, when you don't have the real stable background, family home. And so I started volunteering for a organization that does the same type of work. And I never knew that this is where I was supposed to be. I think everyone looks for, what is my purpose? Yeah. Where am I going to do my best work? Yeah. And I never knew it was going to be with these kids, But as soon as I started working with them, I just felt that this is where I'm supposed to do this. And, I left that organization, and organically, YAC just happened. It just happened. We started off in the back of my car, and then we went into a small 1,100 square foot building. And then COVID hit, and we do a lot of education services for the kids as well. And, when they don't have internet, or they're in a studio with 12 people, or they have no one to help them with their homework, and they're already, below normal, a lot of these kids. And so they weren't going to school. And so my team likes to say that I got angry, and that's why we moved into angry, and a lot of amazing donors who really believed in what we were doing.
Sure.
And so we've just moved into almost a 5,000 square foot building right down on 19th and Commercial downtown.
Nice.
So we have a great, big, huge drop-in center and an amazing team, But these kids are so worth it, and they're just kids. They're just kids. Even at 22, they're just kids. And so giving them hours of relief and someone they can talk to. Our organization isn't, I'm going to place you in housing and then you're gone. Ours is, we're going to place you in housing, and then we're going to continue to work with you. It'll help guide you through those steps.
Wow. We'll get back to this in just a second. I appreciate you being here. This is Drew Schlosberg, Spotlight on the Community. That's on Cloudcast Media, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. In the Mission Fed studios today, I'm Dave Mason for Drew Schlosberg, and we'll let you know more about our guests, Ollie Benn and Heather Lezon, in just a minute. Be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
Drew Schlosberg, Spotlight on the Community, the leading voice lifting community champions for 16 years. I had no idea, because I'm the substitute host for Drew Schlosberg. Drew is on a very special assignment. I have no idea what that is, but he called yesterday from Arizona going, "Is everything right?" So Drew is actually running the show by remote control. And our guest today, Heather Lezon, is Executive Director of Youth Assistance Coalition. You called it YAC.
Yeah, YAC.
The acronym.
The acronym.
I got it. And Ollie Benn, who is the Director of Philanthropy and Social Impact for the Jewish Community Foundation San Diego. We're learning more about you call it the Give For Homelessness program?
So yeah, it's Give For, so it's GIV and the number 4. And so yeah, this is we started a year and a half ago with this curated philanthropy fund around homelessness, and it's been so successful. We've just launched a new fund around climate, because people see climate as another one of these big, complicated issues that they don't know how to get involved with. And it turns out there are a lot of local solutions that help local communities that are impacted by environmental change, climate change. And we did the work with some amazing experts, including San Diego Foundation, USD, of sifting through, believe it or not, there are 300 organizations in the San Diego region working on climate and environment.
Wow.
300.
No idea.
Neither did I till I started this.
So you learn things probably every day now, working with an organization like the Jewish Community Foundation. And how do you make decisions on when you grant money to an organization, as in the Youth Assistance Coalition, YAC? How do you determine that?
Yeah, so with this climate fund, it was actually really interesting, because homelessness, it's pretty straightforward. You have prevention, intervention, systems change. Those are pretty obvious categories. We had to invent this from scratch for climate, because there were 300 organizations. So we had to work, and this was a real collaboration. This was a collaboration with, as I said, USD, San Diego Foundation, some individuals with expertise, the Regional Climate Collaborative. And we spent 5 months actually thinking through what some categories would be. So we ended up with justice and advocacy, education, and immediate physical impact. And we found 8, and we curated this down to 8 really impactful organizations, each working with different communities and doing things such as building solar in low-income communities and for nonprofits. Organizations that are saying things like, "Hey, San Diego, you have this climate change policy on the books, but it's just kind of sitting there gathering dust. Like, let's actually move on. How do we implement this?" Groups like Wild Coast, which are trying to prevent the sewage coming up from Tijuana, and how do we actually stop that from happening in the first place? And how do we get more what they call blue carbon, which is like good plants and things like that.
Okay.
So, and again, the whole idea of Give For is, let's make an easy entry point so anyone who cares about these issues can get involved.
Heather, it's probably obvious to some of us, but I'm not sure that we really quite understand the challenges that are faced by the people that you serve.
Yeah, it's pretty instrumental. It's insurmountable. I apologize. I don't think we see the trauma that happens with a lot of these youth, the youth in foster care, and years of legacy emotional, issues that are going on, or kids even in college. It's not an easy fix when we go in and place them somewhere. Imagine, most of us have kids. How many times have our kids come back to us, or adult children come back to us and needed just a little bit of help?
Sure.
Just a little bit.
Sure.
And with our kids, even though they're doing great and working, they may be 24, 25, and they get sick for a month. And then they can't pay their rent.
Wow.
Then what happens?
Yeah.
I know I've helped my kids to this day. There's times when we go in and help them. And that's the difference between homelessness or not for these youth. And they've worked very hard. And so our organization really believes that everybody says, well, what do you do? Well, basically we do everything. Whatever it is that these youth need, whether it's birth certificates, IDs, mental health, drug problem help, housing, everything. We do everything that a parent would do for a youth, because you can place them somewhere, but without the, community and without the support, of knowing someone's back there, it can all go out the window.
So let me see if I understand this. You say you do everything that a parent would do. A lot of these youths don't have contact with their parents. Is that what you're?
Yeah, the majority of them do not have contact, or parents that are unable to take care and help or provide during those times. The majority of our youth don't have a community or a family. They're pretty much on their own.
Wow, that's a tough one in itself.
Very tough.
Yeah.
Very tough.
At the end of the day, you must be proud of what you do, though.
We are. I'm proud of our youth, because they are making a generational change, and they are doing something that not only is changing their lives, but their children's life, and they're breaking a pattern that they've seen, forever, and it's not an easy road, because a lot of times the adults in their life don't agree with the choices they're making to make the change. So it takes a lot of strength and a lot of resilience to come back.
So do some of the youth turn around and continue to help?
Oh, absolutely.
With you?
Oh, yeah. We have a peer support group. We have amazing youth who come in and volunteer now. I actually had a youth last night. He's just got a new job, and he's technically aging out. And he was sad. I go, why are you sad? Like, you're starting your new job tomorrow. We're so excited. He goes, well, pretty soon I can't come in anymore. And I said, no, you can still come in. He goes, you mean I can volunteer? And I said, yeah, you can volunteer. And so they want to know that they're cared for. They want to understand that somebody's going to be there, and they're not just going to be another outcast or thrown out. And so we never shut the door. Our kids come back and they help all the time, and they're amazing. We have some amazing youth. And we're having about 50 kids a night that are in for dinner.
Oh, wow.
Every night.
Nice.
Yeah.
How are you supported besides the Jewish Foundation?
We are all privately funded. So we do not accept any government contracts at all. We really believe that for us, it's an individual care program for the kids. And, when we just do the government contracts for us, we're focused into a certain thing. And none of our kids fit in the same box. So it's all privately funded. It's been amazing, the Give For program, and they've brought different donors down to our office. And besides the Give For program, those donors have decided to help fund us on the side as well. And the Lucky Duck Foundation was a huge pusher for me to do this. It was scary starting a big nonprofit.
Yeah.
I was happy just working out of the back of our car because the kids were really my focus. And everyone else said, no, you're going to do this. We are going to help you build this. And it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible, the community that's been built, and to watch the community as a whole from San Diego come out and support us and support our kids.
Heather Lezon is the executive director of the Youth Assistance Coalition, and Ollie Benn is director of philanthropy and social impact for the Jewish Community Foundation of San Diego. Here on Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community on Cloudcast Media, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. We're in the Mission Fed studios today learning more about those good things in San Diego, including the Youth Assistance Coalition and the Jewish Community Foundation of San Diego. And Ollie, what's in the future for you and the organization?
Yeah, I think that, what we are trying to do is just consistently, I think one of the big interesting challenges we have right now is there's obviously a lot of wealth in San Diego, and that wealth is going to be inherited by the next generation. And we see a lot of families and individuals who want their next generations to be as involved as they are in their philanthropy. And it's actually an interesting challenge, like when it's not your wealth, do you feel the same ownership over it? And do you feel the same interest in philanthropy? Do you feel the same interest in like giving back to your community? And so one of the things that we are doing is working on, and we have this program to actually help create that intergenerational philanthropy, because it's a muscle. It's a muscle you have to exercise, and it's really important that money goes out to the community. We don't just want it sitting in a philanthropic savings account. We want to see it being deployed for good in the community.
And Heather, your hopes for the future for the Youth Assistance Coalition?
Truthfully, just to stay the same. I really believe that our personal touch with these kids is important. Everybody says, are you moving into housing? Or are you going to do this bigger? And that's not our place. Our place is the relationships with these youth. And I believe, like Ollie said, some of the visits they've had are families. And I love seeing that. Parents who have the wealth and the money, and they're bringing their children in to get them involved in the different programs in San Diego. And so it's been really nice to see that and have more families be involved and really have the experience of meeting our kids and meeting where we're at with the youth. And so we will hopefully be where we're at, but, and have a place for the kids to come into every day.
And how do people find you and the Youth Assistance Coalition?
Our website is www.yaccsd.org, or our phone number is 619-458-6588. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook. So we're available all of those.
Excellent. And Ollie?
If you're particularly interested in the Give For program, it's just GIV and the number 4.org. And we're also on social media. And the website for the Jewish Community Foundation is jcfsandiego.org.
Excellent. Really, it's very, again, eye-opening. And I hope it's eye-opening for the people listening to the podcast, because there are youth in San Diego who are benefiting from what the Youth Assistance Coalition does, and organizations in San Diego benefiting from what the Jewish Community Foundation can do. And this is important, that people support people here in San Diego, and we understand that. But we appreciate getting to know you and what you do. And I can't say thank you enough. So thank you.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for the time.
Heather Lezon, Executive Director of Youth Assistance Coalition, and Ollie Benn, who is the Director of Philanthropy and Social Impact, the Jewish Community Foundation San Diego. Thank you. I hope you have a great day, and thank you for continuing the work that you do.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
This is a part of what happens on Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community show on Cloudcast Media, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years from the Mission Fed studios. I'm Dave Mason with our special guest today, and thank you for listening.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.